Welcome. This is a series of interviews that we're doing for the upcoming Open Conf 2024. Today we have with us Magy Kontou. To introduce a bit first myself briefly, I'm Christos Kargas. I'm one of the volunteers for the Open Conf. I'm a senior software engineer at Sitecore and a tech enthusiast for some reason. And I will start the interview right away. And this will also serve as an introduction for Magy. Magy, can you tell us more about your journey into tech and what inspired you to co-found SimpleApps?
So, hello, Christos. Regarding my journey in tech, I guess my dad is the one to blame for it. He was working as a radio operator in cargo ships, and as a kid, many times I was traveling with him. So, I had the chance to interact with computers and telecommunications from a very young age. Um, Later, as a kid, I remember myself being a tech enthusiast as well. I really enjoyed also playing video games such as Mario, Sims, GTA, and I was dreaming about becoming a game designer myself. So I studied computer science. I have a bachelor in the field and a master in mobile computing. So during my postgraduate studies back in 2012, there was a hype in startups in Greece with an occasion of an innovation in young entrepreneurship competition that took place at my university. We participated with a couple of colleagues and presented an all-in-one mobile app solution for hotel. We won in more than 15 competitions, and within a year, we co-founded our tech startup company, SimpleApps. We now operate as a mobile app agency, building in-house and outsourcing projects for other companies and clients. And I'm currently working as the lead product and UI/UX designer at the company, which is something between what I call pixels and products.
Okay. So, how do you feel about your current position briefly? A little bit more you would like to share?
Well, actually, I'm overly excited because I do really like to design. Although my background is in software engineering, I can't say that I'm writing code properly. So I prefer becoming a product and UI/UX designer. I'm definitely sure that my team actually prefers me as a designer rather than a developer.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I would like to meet your team and see what they have to say for themselves. Moving on. What are the most important tools and methods you use to evaluate user needs and behavior when developing digital products? Has the use of AI played a role in this area yet?
Mm. Well, understanding actually user needs and behaviors is the foundation of building successful digital products, whether it's a website or a web app or a web platform or a mobile application. That is why we follow methodologies, frameworks, or run design sprints that allow us to invest more in understanding the value proposition and analyzing user needs and flows. My approach typically involves a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods. I start by user interviews or actually working closely with our clients to gather the insights and user pains, gains, and expectations. For quantitative analysis, I really like Google Analytics, Google Firebase, Mixpanel, Hotjar to track user behavior and understanding the engaging patterns. Recently, I started using AI plugins in Figma, the tool that I actually use mostly for my designs and prototyping, and it was mind blowing. It saved me so much time, especially the initial steps where I have to generate different designs and work closely with my team or our clients to find the overall look and feel. Um, I like Pixcap that generate 3D assets in seconds. And I also use Figma's Anima plugin for generating quickly mockups, responsive designs, and stuff like that. There are a lot of plugins actually that are AI based in Figma. You're gonna love it.
This last one is AI based.
Yes, it has actually some AI features, not that it's AI based, but there are, for example, recently I figured out that there was a plugin called the Figma to website plugin that actually generates websites in seconds.
Whoa.
Thank God there is AI.
I have to say I haven't used Figma much, but I was quite impressed whenever I use it. I usually get lost a bit because some of the Figmas that have been shared with me, they're quite huge, and you have to zoom in like.
Well, actually, the past 7 years I was working with Adobe XD, and I moved to Figma the last 2 or 3 years, and it was a big change. And thank God there is Figma once again.
Okay, so thank God for Figma then. Moving on. You've been active in communities like Google Developers Group Athens and the Women Tech Makers Greece. How important is community engagement in the tech world? And how do you feel about women's position in tech right now?
Well, tech in general is a very demanding field, so it involves constantly almost updates on frameworks, libraries, APIs, and it requires a lot of dedication and studying. So I find it very important, especially for young professionals, developers, either there is a woman or a man, to join and participate at meetups, virtually or not, as they start building their professional network. They meet other developers, work on community projects, learn more about new technologies, scholarships, and more. The communities that I actually represent are powered by Google, so I can share more insights about the Google initiatives as well. Talking with other developers, even for a bug, discussing about new tools or a new library might save you a lot of time at work. Most of the community events are free, and you have the chance to meet the speakers even from abroad and have a friendly chat with them. So once you have your own network, it's easier to learn about also a new opening at a company, an open position. It's easier actually for a developer to share an open position on their team within a community where fellow developers have same interests, work on related projects and technologies. So communities, I could say that it's mostly about building network relationship between the members.
Hmm.
And you also asked about the women in tech.
Yes,
Women in
you're
tech.
part of the Women Tech Makers Greece, right? Did I
Yes,
get that
it's an
correctly?
initiative powered by Google that mostly focusing on the women in tech. There are a lot of initiatives about women and kids in STEM, generally speaking. Regarding the numbers that you asked about and the insights that we have about the women in technology, you do really know as a software engineer that there are only few, but in generally, the number of women working as developers in Greece are more or less the same percentage-wise, like in Europe. So we talk about 15 to 20% of women working at the industry, not only as software engineers, but also as data analysts, maybe UI UX designers and stuff like that.
But we're talking about mostly engineering positions because well, from what I've seen, you can see a lot of women. They take on. They might start
Yes,
as
most
engineers and
there are a lot
later
of
they
women actually
take other
that have a developer's background, like me, for example, that
Mhm.
studied computer science, but are not working primary as software engineers. So,
Yeah,
for
but
example,
they're
I have
still tweaking stuff from what I've told us.
yes,
Well, and
there
then
are a lot
doing
of
that part.
initiatives that are here actually to support more women.
Mm-hmm.
But in my point of view, that I'm actually running one of these initiatives, the past 5 to 6 years, we don't see a major increase in the numbers
Mm-hmm.
of women in tech. So I believe that it's possibly that only 20% of women for the past 10 years are actually interested in becoming part of the technology sector.
So the aim of the group per se is to bring the women together, empower the women.
Yes, more or less bring women that are actually working as developers or in the technology industry, and also help those that want to join the community or the industry of tech and might not have a tech background or a tech certification and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you get together and you get to help each other.
Yes.
That's quite interesting and useful. Um, moving on, as a mentor, which from what I've seen in your CV, you mentioned, what are some common mistakes you see new entrepreneurs make, and how can they avoid them?
There are a lot of mistakes, but I'm actually going to focus mostly on something that is a real pain in my ass, seriously. Because
Please
speaking
do.
as a tech co-founder, who did that mistake before, it's common for entrepreneurs with dev background to keep adding new features, believing it will make their product more appealing to the clients. So I actually pushed my team to delay our MVP of our very first startup product to add another feature to make the design pixel perfect, mostly to impress our clients. Actually, we developed the all-in-one solution for about 2.5 years. And when presented it to our clients, they expressed they're willing to use only one and only one feature. That was actually what matters for them the most. And it was actually our unique selling point. So I believe that tech could, so at that point, I actually believe that tech could guarantee our success as a startup, but in entrepreneurship, timing, value proposition, and market opportunity matters as well. So one piece of advice I share is to embrace feedback, listen to your clients. This is very important, and don't stuck in tech magic shows, and embrace failure as a learning opportunity.
I was actually watching to a similar discussion about this yesterday, and I think the takeaway from that is looking to how you can find the problem, find a good solution for this problem, and make sure you focus on the solution for the problem and not making money. If you find a good solution for the problem, then money will follow.
Yeah, it's actually a balance between user expectations and the expectations of the business. Some business want to earn money, some businesses are eager for an exit. So the most successful actually products are the ones that keep a balance between what the business wants and what the user needs.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. I think we have time for one small final question, which is you're an instructor in digital marketing. How do you think digital marketing and product design intersect, especially in create memorable user experiences?
Yes, I'm an instructor in digital and mobile app marketing and product design as well. All of them actually intersect when it comes to create meaningful experiences for the clients. While product design mostly focuses on crafting interfaces, user journeys, digital marketing on the other side aims to attract and engage users through branding, messaging, and maybe interfaces as well. So both share the same goal: understanding and serving the needs of the users. So I believe that as a professional and an entrepreneur myself, you should be willing to learn new skills to understand user needs, guide the clients many times, and become an asset for your own team as well.
Thank you, Maggie. Sorry, I have a bit of a cough. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much for your time. It was a really nice discussion. So, guys, I would like to remind you all there are still a few tickets left on open-conf.gr, which is happening this year, the 22nd and 23rd of November 2024 at the IST Event Center. Please grab them while you can, because I don't think there will be many left, judging from last year. And thank you again, Maggie, for your time and your insight.
Thank you, Chris.